It's a big day for LA. Game 1 of the World Series happening right here on our home turf as our boys in blue face off with the Yankees. Jamie Yuccas and Paul Diano are at Dodger Stadium right now, and we have a big morning ahead. Hey, Jamie.
Good morning, Ruby. I just got really exciting news.
Tell me.
Dodger dogs are on the way.
Oh.
And I know this is my dream breakfast, as you know, so I'm super pumped myself. But we're in the right field pavilion right now. How cool is this? We're at Dodger Stadium this morning. You know, the excitement has been building here in Los Angeles. I was actually at the LA Kings game last night where everyone was talking about the Dodgers. It's a huge sports weekend across Southern California, but what an opportunity to be here. And I am with meteorologist Paul Diano. He is here with me this morning. We've been chatting baseball and all things statistics and seats and pricing.
Actually,
and
I think you've only been talking about the Dodger dog. I think that's pretty much it. Here's the deal, is that, like, how long have we been waiting for this? They beat the Mets like 5 days ago, and it's like, yay, we're there. And then you have to wait until, because the network set the date way in advance. So,
but I'm so glad they're rested. They're rested. They're ready to go. I think they're pumped up. We're going to have a fantastic series.
This is going to be the 31st World Series game at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers are 19-11, which is one of the best records outside of the Yankees playing at home. And the Dodgers-Yankees World Series is the most common World Series in baseball history.
This is why I love having Paul here, because as a meteorologist, you're into math and statistics.
I love stats,
and you got all the stats for me this morning.
I think it says 82% chance Dodgers will win the series. That's not mathematical. That's just...
So how's the weather looking?
Weather looks great. The weather looks fantastic. Now, if they come back for Game 6 and Game 7 next weekend, it might be a little more iffy, so let's enjoy the weather that we have now. I'll show you some weather maps and show you the temperatures outside. By the way, downtown Los Angeles, that recording station is at the fire station just south of Dodger Stadium. It moved earlier this year. So basically, when you see Los Angeles on a map, that's at Dodger Stadium. We're at 60 degrees right now. Fullerton 53, Simi Valley 53. Let's take you live outside and show you a live camera and just show you the pomp and circumstance of the weather. That is a gorgeous shot from Malibu. Yes, we have low cloud cover at the beach, but that is about it. Weather headlines. Let's talk about them because it's going to be another beautiful day before some pretty significant changes next week. We're cloudy at the coast. We will get tons of afternoon sunshine. It's going to be warm, and summer is striking out next week. It's going to feel more like fall or winter. High temperatures today, metro area up to 83, the Inland Empire up to 88, valleys, sunshine 91, beautiful day at the coast once the fog burns off, a high today of 71 degrees. We got some significant changes coming up in the forecast next week. It's not going to feel like this at all by the time the Dodgers and Yankees are playing back on the other side of the country. Let's talk about traffic with Kalina. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. So we're talking all things World Series, all things Dodgers. So I want to prepare you for later on today because it is going to be a mess on the roadways. We're already seeing traffic building at the moment, and it's just going to be even worse for your afternoon and evening commute. So these are the roadways, that'll be impacted. The 5, the 110, the 101, the 2, 5:08 p.m. tonight. So before then, as people are heading on out, and then of course once the game ends, you will see lots of congestion here. That's not the only reason why, though. We've got that happening at Dodger Stadium, but we also have Lakers at Crypto and USC at LA Memorial Coliseum. You can see they're just a couple miles apart from each other, so this area will be jam-packed. Make sure you stay away if you can, if you're not going to any of the events, or plan ahead because that will definitely help you out. Currently, I have a crash on the northbound 405 to the northbound 101, left lane blocked off there. This is a live look with our next traffic camera at the current conditions. You can see the activity there and the slowdown as you head out. Also have an issue in the Inland Empire, 71 north at Holt. It's over on the shoulder, but still a backup through that stretch. I'll have more traffic in a bit. Rutabaga, back to you.
Kalina, thank you. And KCAL News is counting down to Game 1 of the World Series. It has been an eventful lead up to the big game. Lots of pregame hype this past week. And our Jamie Yuccas is live at the stadium with a closer look. And there's meteorologist Paul Diano sitting there with her as the sun rises. Good morning, guys.
I have to tell you, it's a beautiful morning. We were just talking about, you know, the sunsets here, the evening games, the sunsets, absolutely incredible. You don't usually
Rarely do you get the sunrise, but when you've got the biggest game in baseball, we're here 8 hours, 10 hours before the game starts.
I know. Do you think if we just stay anybody would notice?
That thought crossed my mind. They'd have to kick me out, and it's only 10 hours away, so it's not the worst idea.
We could go
they
hide
have food.
somewhere.
They've got bathrooms.
It can't be that bad, right? Yeah. Well, this is the 12th time that the Yankees and the Dodgers have met in the World Series, which, if you think about that, what a storied history, right, between these two. There's so much excitement for it. This East Coast, West Coast rivalry, especially you've got the star-studded rosters on both sides. There you see him, Shohei Ohtani. Everybody's got their eyes on him. He's going to be playing, can you believe it, his first ever World Series.
I have been watching the World Series every year, and watching in a sense of disappointment because I couldn't play in one. But this year, I'm able to participate in one, and very much looking forward to it.
This is what you show up in spring training every single year, is to play in the World Series and have a chance to win it. For me, there was no thought of sitting. To have the chance to win a World Series ring, and you'll do anything you can to be on the field to do that.
So, Shohei Ohtani, I feel like he's itching for a home run because in the postseason he has not had one yet.
I think back to Michael Jordan in the 1990s. All of America watched because they wanted to see Michael Jordan. For the country of Japan, this is their Michael Jordan. I mean, it's the most popular game, obviously, in Los Angeles, obviously in New York, obviously in America. I think Japan might be more jacked up for this because this is their Michael Jordan finally getting a chance to be in the World Series.
Baseball's always been popular in Japan, right? So it's been really fun. I've been talking to some friends in Tokyo, and they're going to bars and restaurants, and the time difference...
It's like at midnight.
It's nuts. So
I guess it's good for a bar.
It's going to be great. There are so many mixed emotions, though, for Dodgers fans as well, of course. After some of the news that broke this week, we have the excitement of the World Series, but we also have some of the sadness of remembering a legend. KCAL News reporter Luzdelia Cabrera is live for us this morning, where locals are paying tribute to Fernando. There's Fernando Mania the minute I walked in on the wall here at Dodger Stadium. It was pretty amazing, Luzdelia.
Yeah, good morning to you all. I think you put it beautifully, Jamie. I mean, it's a celebration of sorts today. Fans all over LA and all over the country are celebrating the fact that the Dodgers are here in the World Series Game 1. Getting underway today, but also a celebration of life for an icon in baseball. We're talking about Fernando Valenzuela, affectionately known to baseball fans all over the world as El Toro, which means the bull. Behind us, you can see a beautiful mural. The artist behind this masterpiece is Jonas Never. He actually started this before Valenzuela passed away. And, in honor of Fernando, the icon himself, the team has invited the first ever mariachi artist to be signed with Death Row Records. That's Snoop Dogg's label, by the way. Mexican-American Julian Torres, who tells us he couldn't believe it when he got the call that he was chosen, and he says it's an honor of a lifetime.
It's a celebration of life. That's what I want to say. Fernando lives, and all that he did, both in the community and both as an athlete, para Los Angeles, for Mexico. It's a very special moment, and to be the one to pay homage to him, it's such an honor.
I think the key here is, as we said,
De Los Angeles para el mundo, and that's from LA to the world, a phrase that Julian used here moments ago when we talked to him. And let's not forget, Fernando was the only pitcher in baseball history to win the Cy Young and Rookie of the Year awards in the same season in 1981. Fernando's nearly unhittable screwball and his talent had Dodgers fans rocking to Fernando Mania. Has now continued into Game 1 of the World Series. Upon retirement, he ranked amongst the franchise's top 10 all-time in wins, strikeouts, innings pitched, games started, complete games, and shutouts. And again, following playing with the boys in blue, Valenzuela pitched for 5 other big league teams, including the Philadelphia Phillies, the San Diego Padres, and the St. Louis Cardinals. So he's touched so many people, so many baseball fans all over the world. Obviously, he played in the Mexican League for Jalisco. So he is going to be on everyone's minds, in everyone's heart tonight on Game 1. So it should be an interesting one. I think Dodgers have a good shot at winning this one and maybe taking away the series. Jamie, well, give it back to you at Dodgers Stadium.
Yes, I do. Hey guys, we got live operation. I got Dodger dogs coming. other food? Because, well, this is the classic.
Yes.
There is so much happening.
Yeah, we have some wonderful menu offerings. We have since the beginning of the series, NLDS, NLCS, but World Series. Some of the new items that we have is our chili oil dumplings, which are pork dumplings with fish cakes, crispy garlic, chili oil sauce, and then cilantro and marinated mushrooms.
So I have to think, with so many Japanese fans coming, you have to offer some of these Asian influences.
Absolutely. I mean, with LA being such a diverse melting pot of, cultural differences, we wanted to incorporate that in the food that we offer. So definitely
want to check
you can
out.
see that in all the food.
Okay, and then I am somebody, this is like my jam.
Yes.
100%.
So we actually dubbed these our 50-50 fries for when Otani hit the club, and it's a togarashi dusted fry with marinated chicken, Kewpie mayo, teriyaki sauce, sesame seeds, and just Kewpie mayo.
And deliciousness.
Yes.
That's all you have to say. What is this?
This is
like
our colossal baked potato. So you have brisket, mac and cheese, crispy onions, roasted peppers, scallions, barbecue sauce, lots and lots of butter. Lots and lots of butter.
Isn't that the secret ingredient to like all food?
Butter makes everything better.
It does. It absolutely. I have to imagine there's some butter in this too.
That is actually our fried peanut butter and hazelnut spread sandwich. It's strawberries, bananas, dipped in funnel cake batter, deep fried, dusted with powdered sugar. Decadent, perfect last bite to a great game.
But I feel like if I eat this and this,
hey, it's okay. Hit the gym extra hard.
That's all I have to do.
And then finally, our chicken karage bowl, which is steamed rice, edamame, carrots, cabbage, crispy chicken with miso dressing.
What's your favorite?
Honestly, it's going to be the fried peanut butter.
Is it?
Yeah, absolutely.
It does look absolutely amazing.
It's fantastic.
I feel like you have to almost, it used to be ballpark food was hot dogs. Now, fans expect so much more.
They do. And, we hear our fan feedback. We want to give them exciting food. We want to make memories for them. With the city being so electric right now, with the World Series happening, with the matchup, it's something that we wanted to do as a culinary team to create that buzz with the food that we're offering.
Well, we thank you so much for being here. I'm starving this morning.
Yeah.
And there were a bunch of Dodger dogs out, and all the crews around ate them, and I've been dying for one for breakfast. It's the classic, right?
Yes.
Chef Christine Garrett, thank you so much for being with us. Now I have to talk with my mouth full. I don't know what I'm thinking, but it's good. It's good. I can't wait to try all of this, too. Now, we have to get out to SoCal Spotlight, and our Sheba Turk, who is roaming the city. She's live in San Gabriel this morning to preview what's happening today with the World Series out there. Sheba.
All right, guys, the SoCal Spotlight this morning is all about getting you ready for this Dodgers energy, which we need. We're celebrating several businesses and restaurants that are giving Dodgers fans the energy they need to get through this series. So take a look this morning. We're at El Pavo Bakery in San Gabriel. Just behind me, folks who are grabbing some of these yummy Dodgers treats they've made. Those are the conchas this morning, which I will be going back into the kitchen to make. And look at these adorable Dodgers cookies. How great. They've been making these for several years. It's early this morning. They told me they've already sold about 80 of these. So we're going to go back in the kitchen and make some of these treats for you guys this morning. That is coming up in this morning's SoCal Spotlight. For now, Jamie, I'll send it back over to you. Go Dodgers.
Hey, we're working in here. We're working in here right now. We've got all kinds of moving pieces and parts this morning, which I love. Sheba, thank you for that. We have so much more coming up. At 7:30, we'll be talking live with Dodgers historian Mark Langle, which will be fascinating because I love diving back. We, of course, have so much history here in Los Angeles. Now, Ruta Bay, back to you.
Okay, I can't wait for that. Jamie, thank you. And the World Series matchup between the Dodgers and Yankees comes, as Jamie just mentioned, with so much history and with star power. Joining us now live to break down what we can look forward to as the first game kicks off is MLB Network broadcaster John Morrissey. Thanks so much for being with us so early in the morning.
Thank you. Happy World Series Game 1.
Happy World Series Game 1. Go Dodgers. Okay, so the Yankees haven't won a World Series in 15 years. The Dodgers in 4 years. How will these teams be approaching the first game, you think?
It's a great question. I think that we'll certainly see superstars all over the place in this matchup. And as you point out, with the Yankees not having won a World Series in 15 years, that's a long time by their standards. It's actually one of the longer droughts they've ever had as an organization. Of course, they've got the most World Series championships of any franchise in Major League Baseball and actually in North American pro sports. And I love that whenever you talk Dodgers, Yankees. You go back to those black and white videos of the 1955 World Series where the Dodgers won their first championship. There, of course, you see Fernando Valenzuela pitching against the Yankees as well. There's so much history here, and yet for a lot of Dodger fans, a lot of Yankee fans, it's going to be the first time we have seen these two teams match up in the World Series in our lifetime. So it's just an extraordinary historical moment. I do think there are even still some Dodger fans, of course, still in New York that are old enough to remember what it was like when the Dodgers won that 1955 championship as well. So I do think whenever you talk about the global reach as well, Ohtani and Judge, there are going to be people tuning into this World Series Game 1 all over the world. And, of course, Game 1 beginning at 8 o'clock Eastern time means it's about 8 a.m. in Japan. So I think it's going to be a great matchup there. Saturday morning, a lot of viewers joining us all around the world.
I know. The Japan angle is so interesting, and just the economic impact alone. But there are a record number of former MVPs in the series. There are 6 of them, including Clayton Kershaw, who is not on the postseason roster. Who's leading your predictions for the honor?
I would say in terms of World Series MVP, I've got to go with either Ohtani if the Dodgers win, and then I'll say Giancarlo Stanton continuing his run as an amazing Yankee. Of course, right now you would expect that for the 2024 MVPs, by unanimous, I would say, acclamation, you'll see Ohtani win it on the National League side and then Judge win it on the American League side. But we have seen Giancarlo Stanton, who I love, of course, is an L.A. native. He'll be there starring for the Yankees. He's the reigning American League Championship Series MVP on that side of things there for the Yankees. I would say, too, one of my favorite stories as well is for Garrett Cole, a UCLA Bruin. He's going to be starting on the mound for the Yankees, who are managed by a USC Trojan and Aaron Boone. And then with Tommy Edman, the NLCS MVP for the Dodgers, his mother, Maureen, was born to Korean immigrants in L.A., and she fell in love with baseball by watching the Dodgers, by listening to Vin Scully, and now her son, Tommy Edman, is representing the Dodgers as the NLCS MVP. So it's wonderful, the number of storylines here. We just have an absolute, it's like a holiday buffet of amazing stories of all these different players in storylines, and I just can't wait to see who emerges now as the biggest star of all during the Fall Classic.
I know. The storylines are so rich. There's so much to explore. It's a cornucopia of stories, let's say. John Morsey, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Go Dodgers. And the series will be one to remember. Don't forget the game starts at 5:08 our time. Let's get a check on our morning commute now with Kalina Astrid.
I'm just going to remind you guys to please stay off the roadways or just plan ahead. And usually I say, hey, give yourself 45 minutes. You might want to give yourself an hour, maybe 2 hours. Just depends on where you have to go, because it's going to be kind of messy. Let me start with what's happening now. Here's a look at the map this morning. You can see the 110 is slow. The 405, we've got an issue here. Crash northbound to the northbound 101. 2 left lanes are blocked off. You can see the delay in that northbound direction, but we also have southbound traffic as well, which we usually do. This is a live look outside, though, with that next traffic camera showing you that crash on the northbound side. So leave early, plan ahead. This is the reason why you want to plan ahead when it comes to all the events we have going on just miles apart from each other. Dodger Stadium, Crypto.com Arena. We've got an event over at the LA Memorial Coliseum. So you're early afternoon, rush hour, and evening commute will be impacted in some capacity. Also want to let you know this crash on the northbound 71 at Holt cleared up. It's on the shoulder. Still seeing a backup, though, off the 60. And taking you out this morning to the 15 Cajon Pass in our next traffic camera. You can see it is slowing down here through this stretch as well. But I'll keep you updated throughout the morning with everything you need to know when it comes to your current traffic conditions. For now, though, we want to head out to Paul Diano, who is in the bleachers right now at Dodger Stadium. Paul, I don't even want to know how much those tickets cost.
Kalina, some would argue this would be some of the farthest seats from the stadium. If you're trying to catch a home run from Shohei Ohtani or one of the left-handed hitters, I think this is one of the best seats. This is also one of the cheapest seats. If you want to get in, I am literally sitting in the cheapest seat to get in the stadium right now, according to StubHub. This is section 302. Row R, seats 3, this is my friend here, Dodgers fan, seats 3 and 4. If you wanted to sit here tonight, as of this minute, it would cost you $895 a ticket, or for 2 tickets before parking and food, $1,790. That is about the cheapest to get in. That's how in demand it is to get into the World Series, one of the most expensive World Series that we've seen in a while. And of course, you'll have about 48,000 friends around you, hopefully all screaming for the Dodgers later on today. Let us tackle the weather first. I'm going to take you outside and show you some current temperatures, which are quite pleasant. Los Angeles is right around the 60-degree mark. If you hear some helicopter noise, it's because I think we have about 7 news helicopters flying over Dodger Stadium right now. Other temperatures are mainly in the 50s outside. And mind you that the LA official temperature is at a fire station just south of downtown Los Angeles. So when you see that, you can think Dodger Stadium when you think downtown Los Angeles and see the forecast that we give. Your World Series forecast, what a beautiful stretch of weather we're going to continue to have through tomorrow. 74 degrees, your first pitch temperature tonight. 75 degrees, your first pitch temperature tomorrow. We'll take you live outside to the Hollywood Hills where the colors of the sunrise are looking great. We have mostly clear skies. We do, however, have some dense fog at the beach, not here at Dodger Stadium and over the city of Los Angeles, but head closer to the coast. A second straight morning with a dense fog advisory until 9 o'clock in the morning. High temperatures versus average. The average high in Los Angeles is in the upper 70s. We are going to see a high today of 83 degrees. The average high for Ontario is 88 degrees. We will see the average high, is 84. We'll see a high today of 88, so running about 4 degrees above average. This is Burbank, where it's currently 56 degrees and mainly clear in the San Fernando Valley. Your 4-hour forecast, your next weather forecast for the Inland Empire, a little cool-ish this morning. 66 degrees at 9 o'clock. We'll be at 76 degrees by 11 o'clock, and you're going to warm up into the mid to upper 80s. Beautiful afternoon. If you're having a Dodgers watch party and firing up the barbecue, I think the weather's going to be just fine. We do have a trough approaching the west coast, as you can see on this wider map right here. You can see that there's an area of low pressure sitting offshore. When that moves into northern and central California, all bets are off, as you'll see in the extended forecast. Next weather extended forecast is just downright chilly next week. Inland Empire is going to go from 80s and 90s to 60s and 70s, including Halloween next Thursday. Only a high of 71. Valleys will drop from the 90s to low 70s early next week. And for the metro area, we're going to see low 80s today and tomorrow turn into upper 60s with a slight chance of showers by early next week. So if you're lucky enough to have a ticket for tonight's game, the weather is going to be fantastic. If not, call your banker, try to get a second mortgage, because that may be what it takes to get into the stadium coming up tonight. World Series Game 1 just hours away. The weather's perfect. Back to you.
Enjoy it while you can, Paul, even though no one's there. The time right now, 7:19. It is a hometown matchup tonight. Both starting pitchers are from Southern California. Hear how Jack Flaherty and Garrett Cole feel about going head-to-head. Ticket prices are how much? Some priceless reactions from the Dodgers when they find out how much fans are willing to pay to see them in action today.
We are at El Pavo Bakery in San Gabriel. We're Dodgers fans like Diego.
Hey guys, go Dodgers.
Getting some treats, but I find the cutest Dodgers fans, Luca, Mateo, and Sophia. Take a big bite for me, guys. I got some taste testers for these Dodgers treats. How is it? Good? All right, we'll be making some of these coming up.
Taste testers ever. Shiva, thank you. And we are loving the photos Dodgers fans have been sending us. Tony Mesa Jr. sent us this from Arleta. He was born in 1981. That is the last time the Dodgers beat the Yankees in the World Series. And check out these cuties enjoying popcorn at Dodgers Stadium. Rachel Carrillo from East LA sent these in. So why is she a Dodgers fan? She says because she was raised right. And remember to send in your photos and videos. You can scan the QR code with your phone and tell us a little bit about yourself. You might see your team spirit here on KCAL News Mornings.